What if everything we've been told about autoimmunity is wrong? I'm Elizabeth Yarnell. After awakening partially blind one morning in 1999, a doctor told me my multiple sclerosis would put me in a wheelchair within 10 years. I refused to accept that as the end of the story, so I started investigating. Welcome to the Inflammation Investigator, the podcast that uncovers the inflammation lurking underneath your ailments. Because autoimmune and chronic conditions should not be viewed as death knells when they are actually alarm bells. I'm a traditional naturopath and founder of the Inflammation Academy. And in 2 episodes every week, we dig into what conventional medicine might be missing. If you're living with chronic or unexplained symptoms, this investigation is for you. Your body has been trying to tell you something. Let's start listening.
In the last episode, we talked about the term autoimmunity and what it really means, allergic to self. Let's talk today a little bit about the epidemiology of chronic disease and how we got to where we are now. Don't forget, I will be reading, and I might be reading a little bit more than usual because I want to be sure that I don't misspeak any of these scientific words. Chronic inflammatory diseases, including neurodegenerative and autoimmune conditions, are the most significant cause of disability and mortality around the globe today. Worldwide, 3 out of 5 people die due to chronic inflammatory diseases, a rate that is expected to increase persistently in the foreseeable future, leading the World Health Organization to rank chronic, non-communicable diseases as one of the greatest threats to the health of the global population. Back in 2014, the Rand Corporation estimated that nearly 60% of Americans had at least one chronic condition. That was up from 43% in 2000. Even more frightening, the study found that 42% had more than one chronic condition, and 12% of American adults actually suffered from 5 or more chronic conditions. Autoimmunity begets autoimmunity. Once you have one autoimmune condition, more are likely to follow. These stats are from 10 years ago, and the situation has become only more dire. It can be hard to fathom that almost 2/3 of the U.S. population could be living with frequent symptoms of pain, discomfort, and dysfunction. However, this figure starts to make sense once we consider the more than 100 million prescriptions written each year for proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, intended to ease the discomfort of chronic digestive dysfunctions such as acid reflux. Add to this the 50 million people who report having allergies of some sort, and we begin to get a picture of a population in an expanding health crisis. In 2022, the United States dispensed almost 7 billion medical prescriptions in the name of helping people feel better. Seeing these facts makes it easy to conclude that most people, possibly as many as 2 out of every 3 in the U.S., and indeed around the world, are struggling with inflammation that is affecting their daily health and happiness. Chronic inflammation is not a specific disease, but rather a mechanistic process. The ailments associated with chronic inflammation include diabetes, cancer, heart disease, as well as chronic conditions marked by headaches, joint or muscle aches, digestive distress, skin eruptions, respiratory challenges, joint pain, motor skills issues, brain function, systemic fatigue, and on and on. Even mental health and behavioral conditions correlate with inflammation in the brain. Lest we forget, MS itself is fundamentally a condition of inflammation of the nervous system, specifically inflammation of the myelin sheaths that surround the nerves. Think about your own body for a moment. Which of your own ailments can you connect with inflammation? Not sure? Take my inflammation quiz to find out at inflammationinvestigator.com. Be sure to give yourself a good 10 or 15 minutes to take this quiz. The answers and the results may surprise you. The history of evolution teaches us that when the majority in a population experiences deteriorating health, it does not bode well for the survival of that species. In fact, this state of widespread ill health is a relatively new one for Homo sapiens. According to T. Jack Murray in his comprehensive book, Multiple Sclerosis, The History of a Disease, for centuries, patients who exhibited possible MS symptoms were noted, but they were rare. Back then, while doctors may have suspected the disease in a patient due to clinical history, they had to wait for the autopsy to make a definitive diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. As Murray notes, thought to be a neurological curiosity in the mid-19th century, worthy of single case reports in the journals of the day, by the turn of the 20th century, it was recognized as one of the most common causes of admission to neurology wards. The situation has only gotten worse in the last 125 years, with almost 1 million Americans and 2.1 million people worldwide now affected by MS. But what if autoimmune sufferers are not actually resistant to themselves or allergic to themselves, and those wayward T cells are actually trying to do their job as intended and defend us against threats that we are simply not recognizing? Maybe we've been looking for answers in all the wrong places. Be sure to tune in next time when we talk more about the symptoms that inflammation creates. I'll see you then.
And that's another case filed on the Inflammation Investigator. Remember, every symptom is your body's way of communicating. We just need to learn the language. If today's episode sparked something for you, I want to hear about it. Share your own investigation discoveries with me on social media at Elizabeth Yarnell, or find me at elizabethyarnell.com. Your experience could be exactly what another listener needs to hear. And make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. And here's the thing about investigations. They work best when you're not going it alone. If this podcast is helping you uncover the answers you've been searching for, please like, rate, subscribe, and review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. As a new podcast, these actions mean more than you know. Want to dive deeper into your own inflammation investigation? Head over to inflammationinvestigator.com, where you can take my free inflammation quiz to uncover which hidden triggers might be affecting your health. Until next time, this is Elizabeth Yarnell, your inflammation investigator, reminding you that the solutions to your health issues are out there. Let's find them together.